Good afternoon, happy Friday, and welcome to the 201st episode of the Georgia Farm Bureau Georgia Prep Sports Drive for the GHSA State Title. I'm really excited about today's guest. It's going to be new North Gwinnett head coach Eric Godfree. It became official a couple weeks ago, I believe. Just one of the most exciting offseason moves, in my opinion. He goes from Parkview to North Gwinnett to take over for Bill Stewart. We're going to have Jordan on. He was at I believe West Forsyth High School last night at their region tournaments. Got some great coverage. We'll talk about what he saw there, how good he thinks the Lambert boys are, what their chances are going to be in the 7A playoffs, and then I'm going to talk about wrestling. We got some more news to break. I believe there were changes made to the three-point and slam dunk contest. I'll get into that, and we'll just set the stage for what's going to be a great weekend. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started and talk to Coach Godfree.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
You bet. So the first question is an obvious one. How does it feel to be a Bulldog?
Right, it feels really good. It does. It's funny. I was actually dropping off some more Parkview clothes and that kind of stuff up at the field house last night. And that's my wife asked me. She says, "Is it kind of weird?" And I mean, it really kind of is. So, but new challenge, and sometimes change is good for us all. So.
Absolutely. And we've seen moves in the past where a coach will say something like, there weren't many positions I would have taken. They were happy at where they were. But, I mean, this opportunity for you, it seemed like, was one of the few schools where you were willing to leave Parkview, accept that new challenge. So what is it about North Gwinnett that you've just seen over the years, and what excited you about the opportunity?
That's a great question because, as you said, Parkview is a great and a great team coming back, and a lot of great memory. North, as you said, just really watched it over the last 10, 15 years, and the did, and now Bill Stewart, and just overall, just a great community and a great school, top academic schools in the state, so I mean, it has a lot to offer to draw for a great community, and football and really all of their sports. They just won the girls swim and dive state championship, so it's fun to be a part of something that's really good at everything too.
Yeah, from one state championship team to another. I want to talk about Parkview a little bit though, because when you took over that job, you were filling some big shoes with Cecil Flo. That had to have been a tremendous learning opportunity for you, competing just in that region in 7A, being at a program like Parkview. So what is kind of your biggest takeaway from what you guys were able to do there, and just what that time meant to you?
Right, yes, yeah. And that's where, in the time being at Parkview, really got to learn a lot all the way from, getting to our rec leagues and building the kids up and getting to know kids at early ages, and just the development, the overall development of our kids, and seeing kids that maybe their 8th grade teams weren't great or whatever it might be. And then I know we went 10-0 at Parkview, and pretty sure that freshman team won one game when that year that they were seniors that went 10-0. So the whole part of the skill development, all that kind of stuff is a part of my job that I really enjoy, and like I said, and really just the whole community and getting involved with the community, and that's something we able to really do at Parkview, and so I look forward to doing this, the same things at North Gwinnett, and getting involved with the whole community, getting all involved, and jumping our skill development, and helping these kids hopefully put together a really good program too.
Yeah, and there's been just a ton of coaching changes. We saw Bill Stewart step down, take the job at Georgia Tech. That obviously set things in motion. Then your resignation was announced. It seemed like even in the press release, they said he's going to accept a job within the county. So we all sort of speculated, thought that it might be North Gwinnett. But just talk about what that period was like before it was becoming official. I mean, was your phone blowing up? I mean, what were those 2 weeks like?
Yes, very much so. I know. So I wanted to be one of the first ones to tell our team. I didn't want them hearing rumors and hearing other things, and so I went ahead and shared with my team about me going somewhere. And I couldn't even tell them where I'm going. Just on another job opportunity. And yeah, my phone, like you said, I couldn't catch up. It was between 40 and 50 texts. I could never get under 40 texts, and I was literally on my phone. I literally looked back and said, okay, how long? I was on my phone for 10 and a half hours that one day, and I could never get under 40 texts. And I was determined to answer all of them, and the phone calls and everything else. So, a lot of it was congratulations and, praying for that kind of stuff. And some of them were already inquiring about the Parkview job. So it was a full range of busy day.
Yeah, and just from a staff standpoint, what's that going to look like? Just how much North Gwinnett's going to stay intact, and then who's coming with you?
Right, yeah. And, Bill put together a great staff at North. Like I said, you look at the success they've had and, quarterfinals last season. So I'm keeping the same offense coordinator, Todd Faulkner, who I actually coached when I was at Parkview right out of college. And so it's a great connection at that point. And then my offensive line coach, Nick Johnson from Parkview, he's coming with me over to North. But keeping the rest of the defensive staff together at North Gwinnett, we're bringing in a defensive coordinator, Mike Healy, who's at Troup County. He was actually at North when they won state in 2017. He's been the defensive coordinator at Troup County the last 5 years, which they made the semis last year. He's done a great job, so I'm really looking forward to bringing him on and getting to work with him too.
Awesome. Is Boo Mitchell staying at North?
Yes, yeah. We got
Awesome.
Boo Mitchell be doing our receivers. Yep, absolutely, yes, sir.
Yeah, he is incredible. He does so much. We ran into him at the Sheriff's Cup with the youth programs. I mean, he's one of the busiest guys I've ever met. He's got endless energy.
Yes, he does.
Heck of a player, too, back in the day.
That's right, yes, at Vanderbilt, that's right.
And then just what was your first impression just talking to North Gwinnett, meeting with the players, just how receptive they were for you? And just obviously that was probably tough after they lost Coach Stewart, but just to have you coming in, an established coach just from down the street.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something I got so much respect for Bill Stewart. He and I coached together at Parkview for a time, and so I got so much respect for him. And I know, following a guy like Bill, who's a phenomenal football coach, really, as you said right there, how is this kind of, is it going to be welcoming? Is it going to be, hey, we really miss Coach Stewart? But it's been really good. Just, great kids at North Gwinnett that are very well rounded. And so it's meeting them. I've already been in the weight room with them the past 5 days. And like I said, they're just guys who work hard and they get after it. I think they're excited about the opportunity after talking to them. We did a meet the coach with the community. I guess really the first official day that I was there, we did it that evening. And that was a very welcoming event. Getting to meet a lot of parents who want to see their kids be successful in life and successful in football and, be good kids and go do great things. And so it really is a great community to be a part of. Yeah,
and I know you're super busy. You probably haven't looked at the schedule too much, but you guys are going to be opening the year against Mill Creek. It's a program you're well familiar with from your time at Parkview. Just talk about how big that game is going to be, just making your North Gwinnett debut against Mill Creek, the defending state champs.
Right, no, absolutely. Well, and to make it even tougher, just picked up a scrimmage this week. We're going to scrimmage Langston Hughes on August 11th.
Wow.
So, yes, we're going to scrimmage the 6A state champs, and then we're going to turn around and play the 7H state champs, Mill Creek, in the Ben's first game of the season. So, there's my first 2 games as a Bulldog. So, let's hope they don't fire me after 2 games.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
That's funny. But you don't have to give an answer, but, I mean, what do you think about Hughes and Mill Creek? Just who was the premier team, just what that would look like if they would have gone up against each other last year?
Oh, gosh, it obviously been a tremendous game. The athleticism of Langston Hughes and the size they have. But, Mill Creek was a pretty destined team last year. And, we played them when I was at Parkview, and we played them. And we played a really great game against them. But Mill Creek was really good. Like I said, they were destined, and they were good in every single spot. They did not have one deficiency. And so I would say I would take Mill Creek in that game. But going back, I'm excited to play really both of those games. I really do. I always want to play whoever wins state that year. I'd love to be have the first opportunity to beat them. Not saying we're going to beat them, just that first opportunity to beat them. Like I said, that's just kind of who I am, kind of who I'm wired to be. I want to be the first team to beat them. after they, come off of state and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, it doesn't always work out that way, but I, love having opportunities.
And what are those other 3 non-region games? Is it going to be Archer, Parkview, and are you still going to play
Yes,
the
sir.
Florida team?
Well, yes, we picked up Gardendale out of.
Okay.
So the offensive line coach from Hoover is their head coach, and they're just on the north side of Birmingham, right up there. And they went 9-4 last quarterfinal team in Alabama, so should be a really competitive team, a really competitive game. So really a tough 4 preseason games for us leading into region.
Yeah, when we think about North Gwinnett, they've always just had a tremendous defensive front, great defensive teams. You said Mike Healy's coming over from Troop. Just what are you excited about him just coming in as the new coordinator, getting to work with all that talent?
And you're right, because Bill Stewart did such a great job with the defense. He really did, and the defense guys they have on staff now. So what I really like about it is Mike was under Bill at one time, and so a lot of his stuff on front 7 end especially is a lot of mirrored after what Bill had done. And of course, Mike's has his own flair to it and personality to it. So we'll get to see a lot of the. So it'll be some. We got the front, and he's going to be excited to work with our front 4. I'm excited about the front 4 that we have at North Gwinnett, and even the linebacker crew as well. Next we ain't got to do any senior live football with those guys, but the way they're getting after in the weight room, I think we got a chance to be pretty good again on defense.
Absolutely. And then last point, I just feel like the timing of this really did kind of work out in your favor. Both your daughters went to Parkview. I think they're both going to be done after this year. This opportunity opens up. Coach Stewart leaves, and then you're coming into it. I mean, it's got to feel great just what you were able to do at Parkview, but just to have this fresh new challenge ahead of you.
Right, it really does, and that's what and you said it right. Yeah, my oldest daughter's in college, and then my daughter's a senior this year at Parkview, and then I have an 8th grade boy too. So it really is kind of, if there's going to be a year, this is a year to make that change. So and I was super excited about it. Very torn because obviously Parkview's team and the players they have coming back is very special. They're going to have a really special team. But again, like you said, the opportunity to get up here, get around a great North Gwinnett. They've been good at football for quite a time now, and we hope to continue that and build on that.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's just exciting news. Can't wait to see what you guys do next year at North Gwinnett. It's going to be awesome. Big game against Mill Creek, big scrimmage against Hughes. We will definitely be following that closely, and we just really appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, thank you so much. I always appreciate you guys.
Yep. All right. We'll go Bulldogs. And that's that. So very interesting. I think what he was saying with his staff, how they have familiarity coaching with Stewart, including his new defensive coordinator, Mike Healy. And then he actually coached with Stewart at one point. So really the continuity's there. It was good timing. I mean, someone had to fill that job. And as he said, there were few programs he would have left Parkview for, and one of them was North Gwinnett, right down the street, another state championship program. They won recently back in 2017, so it's going to be really exciting, and they're going to be squaring off. North Gwinnett will play Parkview in their final non-region game, so I know that will be a big one right there, potential top 10 matchup. So lots to look for with North Gwinnett, how they build off last year's run to the quarterfinals where they fell to Colquitt County. Really exciting team, and we will see what they look like next year. So great stuff right there. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, though, and thank our sponsors, Georgia Farm Bureau.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
All right, welcome back. So Jordan will join us momentarily, but before he comes on, I'm going to highlight an interview he did with Marley Raymond. She is a freshman on West Forsyth's team, a key contributor. They had a big 48-45 win over Denmark last night, a great three-point victory, and she also plays on the soccer team. So we'll go ahead and cue that up. This is Jordan's clip before he comes on.
I'm with Marley, the freshman from West Forsyth. She plays varsity girls basketball and soccer. She's only a freshman. Talk to us about playing both sports and how hard it's been managing both.
It's actually been really easy because my teammates and my coaches are very agreeable with my decision on whether or not I'm going to go to basketball or soccer. So it's basically just my time management and how I put my time together. Like I had a basketball game today, and I'll have a soccer game later today.
Talk to us about the season. You guys are the third seed going into the state playoffs coming up. How excited are you guys going to state playoffs?
We're so excited to be going to state. I think our team will do really well, and I think together this year we played really well. We're being like a new, younger team, and we played better together than I thought we could.
And talk to us about going. I know you are going out of town to try out for the 16U soccer team, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to a showcase for a bunch of colleges, and the U.S. national team will be there. I went to the U.S. national team camp in California, in August, and this is basically another time where they can see me.
Thank you for your time. Good luck in soccer and basketball.
So there you have it. A freshman that is already playing a key role. I mean, you heard her talk about her teammates. Seems to be an outstanding player, outstanding teammate and friend, and she's getting that national attention practicing with the USA team. So really promising future for Marley right there. Their three-point victory last night, that earns them the number 3 seed out of Region 6, and then they will play the loser of Cherokee and Walton, and that game is tonight at Wheeler. So they will be awaiting that result, and that will be a great first-round matchup for sure. So let's go ahead and bring Jordan on, get to find out what else he saw last night at West Forsyth, who impressed him, and then what he's looking forward to with the next 2 nights of region tournament action. And on the boys' side, Lambert, they had the 54-46 win over Denmark. The West Forsyth boys also won to earn the 3 seed. That was a 56-52 win over Milton. So another really strong result. So West Forsyth had a great night, both the boys and girls winning and getting that 3rd seed. And let's see, the West Forsyth as a 3 seed, similar situation. They will play the loser of tonight's Wheeler versus Cherokee game. And then Milton will play the winner. So if Wheeler wins, we're going to get Wheeler-Milton in the first round. Yeah, that's right. And then Lambert will play as the 1 seed. They'll play the loser of the Osborne and Walton game, which is at 5:30. The winner of Osborne and Walton will play Denmark in the first round. What's up, Jordan? How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. So we've got it pulled up right there. The Region 6 champion boys, Lambert. Looks like that was a really strong region. We talked about Milton being in there. Denmark's had a great season.
Yeah.
West Forsyth looked good last night. So how excited do you think the Lambert boys were to be able to get that top seed heading into the tournament?
I think they were really excited. I wasn't able to stay for that game, but I heard it was a great game. A big crowd out there last night at West Forsyth for the whole tournament.
For
but
sure.
I think they're excited.
Yeah, and we just played your video of Marley Raymond. What else can you tell us about her? I think she was mentioning that she was competing with the U.S. national team.
She went out to a camp in like California. She said for like a camp. I know she's getting looked at. We're gonna see if we can bring her on with you and Najee once she gets back. I'm gonna talk to her coach.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hold up, we'll see. I think you froze up for a second there, Jordan. Okay, try to reconnect with him. Okay, we'll reconnect in a sec. So, yeah, from what Jordan was saying, she's going out to these camps. So she's just staying active, showcasing her talent, true baller. And Jordan asked her, though, it's like, how do you have time to do all this and compete on the soccer team? And she said it was easy. So it seems to me like she just loves competing, a true athlete that just day in and day out wants to just get better and make the most out of her varsity career.
I know she's really excited to be going to Nashville this weekend to get looked at some more.
That's right. And so some sports don't necessarily overlap. There's a little with football and basketball. If you're football and track, it doesn't overlap. If you're football and lacrosse, it doesn't. If you're football and baseball, it doesn't. But I think at this point, soccer and basketball are overlapping. So I think
Correct.
West Forsyth, didn't they have soccer games going on last night?
Yeah, they had boys varsity soccer and girls varsity soccer last night.
Okay, so she'll join the team after the basketball season?
Yes. And I know she played last night, too. I wasn't able to check the soccer game out, the girls' game out.
Well, interesting. So West Forsyth, they did play last night. They got a 3-0 win over Creekview. That was a big victory for them. Snapped a little losing streak, so I think they'll benefit from some of these basketball players joining the soccer team once that season's over. They were an 18-3 team last year. Closed out on a 13-game win streak and won the state title. So they'll definitely be wanting to get all their players back for that. So what else, though, have you noticed during these region tournaments? It's kind of the first taste of playoffs where some of these games are must-wins. You mentioned that Forsyth Central got knocked out early, but, I mean, did you sense that it was a true playoff atmosphere?
I thought it was a really great playoff atmosphere. Forsyth has a great arena. It's really nice, great facility. It looked like a college stadium when you go into the gymnasium.
Yeah, West Forsyth's got great facilities. We were there for the Corky Cal this past few years actually. Seen some great games there. So a big one tonight on the boys' side is going to be Wheeler against Cherokee. I think that will be interesting to see how locked in and focused Wheeler is. If they go out and just continue to dominate and kind of make that last impression right before the playoffs. So what do you expect from Wheeler tonight against Cherokee? What do the Warriors need to do to try to slow down Isaiah Collier, and just how dangerous do you think they are in 7A this year?
I don't think Cherokee can stop Isaiah Collier. I think Wheeler has the best chance to win against Cherokee. Has great players. Both of their players are going to be playing together at USC out in Southern California. I think Wheeler's going to win big time against Cherokee tonight in the region championship.
Yeah, and then another game that I think is going to be really interesting that ties into Wheeler because they just played Wheeler is Newton, and they're going to play Grayson. That's two teams right there that have played already. They've split games, and now they're meeting again pretty recently from their last matchup in the region championship. So, I mean, how big do you think that is for Newton and Grayson tonight for one of them to come out of that Region 4 as the top seed?
It's going to be really huge for them. It's probably going to be like a state championship game there tonight. So I'm expecting Newton to win that game tonight.
Yep, and Najee, what's Newton's first name? Is it Ja'Kai Newton? Yeah, Ja'Kai. So he had just come back, I think, in the last couple weeks, gave them a significant boost against Wheeler. They did lose to Grayson after that, but I think Newton has not yet reached its full stride. And I think a win over Grayson, just after some of the ups and downs this season, I think that would give them a lot of confidence heading into the state playoffs. Let's go to the girls' side real quick, though. I think it's Brookwood who's just been outstanding. They're going to play Archer tonight, number 1 versus number 2 seed. What do you think just about girls 7A and a team like Brookwood, Archer, McEachern's always good? Just what the 7A state playoffs are going to look like for the girls.
They're going to be really tough on the girls' side. I think Brookwood has a really good chance at going far in the state tournament. Same with Lambert, same with West Forsyth. They all have really good chances this year.
Absolutely. And South Forsyth, too. What did you see from them?
South Forsyth had a really great game last night. Huge crowd came out for them. Incredible team. Their head coach been there for a long time. He was really happy about their region championship.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see, because South Forsyth earned the number 1 seed. They've won 16 straight, 24-3. One of the teams they did lose to actually was Archer.
So on the South Forsyth team, all 5 of their players, I heard, have been together since 5th grade.
Oh, that's a great tidbit right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, were those seniors that have been...
Yeah, they were seniors, all 5 of theirs.
Yep, so I think that's Sharon Tolliver, Clara Morris, Maggie Thompson, Jaden Nicely, and Ilana Valiantos. And, yeah, so those are their seniors. Right. Oh, yeah, and they have the 6'1" forward, Ava McLaughlin. So, yeah, watch out for South Forsyth. 16-game win streak is legit, especially after competing in that region. I want to see, there's one more boys one I wanted to ask you about. That's in 4A. Let's see. So I thought this was really interesting. Najee talked about it. Lovett beat McDonough last night. And so that's going to send McDonough into the consolation game. They will play Woodland Stockbridge. Pace Academy, they came into 4A this year. They're coached by Sharman White. He's been one of the best coaches in the state, in the country. Won, I think, like 7 state titles at Miller Grove. He has a chance tonight playing against Lovett, a big rival of Pace Academy, to earn that top seed. Do you think Pace Academy's recent success in the region has kind of positioned them as the favorite in 4A this year? Looks like we lost him. That'll be interesting to see. I think everyone thought it was going to be a McDonough Pace Academy third matchup in the championship, but that loss to Lovett last night puts them basically guaranteed to be on the road throughout the playoffs. So that's a tough blow for McDonough. Losing that home court, they still could get it if they get the 3 seed and a 4 seed wins, or they win a coin flip, but definitely not something that a team that was ranked number 1 for the majority of the season wants to experience, is losing that home court advantage in the playoffs. So I think they're going to come out tonight. They're going to try to get back on track against Woodland Stockbridge. And I think Pace Academy at this point, they played a tough national schedule. They've taken their lumps. They are super young. I mean, Coach White was telling Najee that they were young last year, but they're still young. and only going to get better next season and as this one progresses. But a big game against Lovett, who is going to be just carrying a lot of momentum after that win over McDonough last night. Huge statement win for them. Lovett has been in the top 10 this season, and we will have all those region championship games updated on Score Atlanta and the AJC, and our brackets will be filled out starting tonight and then tomorrow. So we'll have all those matchups. You can get a look at who's going to be squaring off when the first round begins. Want to go real quick to wrestling. It's going to get underway tonight. There were the first couple rounds yesterday, and then we're going to have today it's going to be Class 1A, 4A, 5A, and 6A will be crowned. And then tomorrow is going to be 2A, 3A, 7A, and the girls. So that will be something to watch for. I think the biggest storylines in this year's state championship field is Camden County. Can they win another state title? They've been the dominant one. They've got 9 straight championship sweeps, meaning they've won the dual and then traditional. They're going for a 10th straight. That's second all-time in state history, only to Jefferson's 18 straight from 2002 to 2019. They qualified all 14 weight classes to do it. Can anyone stop them? That's going to be the big question. Buford is probably the one team that on paper has enough. They have won state titles before. They're new to 7A, and they have 13 qualified wrestlers. So we will see. But with Camden, in those lower weight classes, the 105, the 113, the 125, they have all freshmen that have gone undefeated this season. So that, I mean, you can't really say they have a strength because their entire team's good, but that's going to be crucial for them. If they can come out and get a hot start and win those lightweight classes with their freshmen, I think that's going to position them. And so that portion will start tonight, and then they'll have the finals tomorrow. So we could know by the end of the day, do they have enough of a points advantage to where they're in position, or did Buford have a good first day, and are they still in the running to make a big push on Saturday to dethrone the Wildcats? So that'll be outstanding. Buford's departure from 6A, that opened it up for South Effingham to win their first ever wrestling state title in the duels, and they have 12 qualified wrestlers to try to sweep for the first time. I think big kind of opponents they'll be going up against to prevent that from happening. It's going to be Woodward Academy, North Forsyth, and Glenn Academy. All of them had top 4 finishes. Then in 5A, Jefferson, they're a newcomer to 5A. They've got 43 all-time wrestling state titles. So the Dragons will definitely be the team to beat. They've got 13 weight classes qualified. Cass has 11, but I think Jefferson has that advantage. Same sort of deal with Buford leaving and opening up for South Effingham. Jefferson left 4A, and that opened it up for Central Carroll to win their first ever state title in the duels. They're going to have a lot of competition, though. Lovett, Chesadee, all having a similar haul of weight classes represented. So no clear advantage from that. 3A is absolutely stacked with programs that have won state titles before. It's going to be Columbus, Gilmer, Ringgold, Lumpkin County, Franklin County, Pike County. I mentioned Lumpkin County. They all have over 10 wrestlers. So I think 3A might be the most overall competitive. We might see one of those finishes we've seen in the past with some of these programs where it's literally just a 1-point victory. Comes down to the final match, and it's not just who wins it, it's how you win, how many points you need, when you pin them, and it's going to really come down to the wire potentially in 3A. 2A, Rockmart, they went down from 3A to 2A, so that strengthened that classification. They're looking to win their 13th all-time state title. They'll be going up against Toombs County and Fannin County, who both have, I think, 12 and 13 wrestlers qualified. So watch out for a close finish in 2A with multiple teams being represented in nearly every weight class. And then Mount Pisgah, can they defend their title in Class A? They will be taking on top programs Tryon and Social Circle. And then real quick on the girls' side, Carrollton made history. They won the duals last month. That was the first ever duals state title handed out. When we talked to their coach, he said that they had a lackluster, an underwhelming performance at the traditionals the year before, and that motivated them to really take this year seriously. And they had some big wins over Jordan, Greenbrier, Chesapeake on their way to the dual state title. And then they have 7 wrestlers that qualified for state. That matches Greenbrier as the most out of any girls program. Jordan has 6, Chesapeake has 6, and Woodward Academy has 6 also. And you have Maggie Dudley. She's represented in the 135-pound weight class. She was a key contributor in their run to the dual state title. So can Carrollton come out, perform better, follow up that great win at the duals, and just cap an exciting season? They're trying to become that girls wrestling program that really sets the tone early into the sport's kind of inauguration or launch. It's like they want people to look back and say that was the first team to really establish a winning program and raise the bar for the rest of the state. So that would be exciting to watch. Let me go real quick to the news on the GHSA. I actually haven't even read it yet, but they released something on the 2023 Slam Dunk and Three-Point Contest with some updates. Let's see. It says we are looking for the state's best players to enter the 2023 Slam Dunk and Three-Point Contest presented by BSN Sports. Last year, the girls' three-point contest was won by Bella Brick of Flowery Branch, who captured the first ever co-ed three-point title with teammate Landon Mueller. Repeating as the BSN Sports Boys Slam Dunk winner was Wilson Sibley of North Oconee. It says you can click here for the waiver form. This is all on the GHSA's website. It's, I think, the featured story in their carousel. So any teams, fans, parents watching that know someone that could do their school proud and make history by, I mean, this is a fairly new event, but capturing this statewide slam dunk contest and three-point contest, anyone that you think, you can go there and nominate. It's also, let's see, the video entry started January 30th, and they will end this Sunday. So you only have a couple more days. Sunday, February 19th is the cutoff date. They have a link where you can just upload the video. So any sick dunks or all that, or three-point shooting, you can nominate them right there. And then there's the qualifying sites. It's going to be at Banks County High School, Griffin High School, Model High School, and Perry. That's going to be Saturday, February 25th. That's going to set the stage for the finalist. And they already have, I believe, some of the names up there. So that'll be an exciting thing to watch. Let me see when they're going to be doing it. That'll be March 9th for the co-ed championship three-point, and then on March 10th, that will be the finals, and that is going to be obviously at the Macon Centerplex. So that'll be something to look forward to. Just a fun kind of break from the playoff action, just seeing some of the top shooters. I think it's always exciting to see someone catch fire in the three-point contest and just start knocking them down. So that will be great to see. One more thing I wanted to talk about. I thought Najee's show was phenomenal yesterday. He had Tim Godby on, Milton's lacrosse coach, and then he was talking about some players and some teams that he thinks are going to have a big 2023. And I think he is spot on. One of the players he highlighted was KJ Bolden, who got recognized by a speed tracker on one of the plays he had this past year. It was a screen pass. Forgot exactly what it was. I think it was over 22 miles per hour. It was the fastest time, and this isn't anything you can fake. This is technology. How fast is he running? They do it in the NFL, college, and so they took his clip, and he's the fastest player in the country. It's undisputed. He clocked over 22 miles per hour. He runs track, has a 43-foot triple jump, and he is deemed not only in the 247 rankings, but also just colloquially and reputation. He's the #1 athlete in the country. So we were talking a lot about Caleb Downs last year, all these great players, but I think we have something special with him. And he can do so much. He can play safety. He can go in as an offensive weapon. He still hasn't decided where he's going to go next year. So I think that is absolutely going to be one of the biggest storylines of next season is KJ Bolden. Where is he going to go? And then what is he going to do to showcase that incredible God-given speed and ability? He is really special. And so I'm going to retweet that clip that we're talking about. Go back and watch Najee's show as well because it is awesome, and we need to definitely hype him up, just being one of the players that's really putting Georgia on the map. Najee also talked about Woodward Academy. He had a great segment on that. The only thing I'm going to add to that, because I think it's going to be really intriguing, is their quarterback position. So Griffin Marshall, because we talk about the class of 2024, class of 2025 quarterbacks, there have been guys, though, that have come in as seniors playing behind like a multi-year starter that have already gotten the college attention, and they just come in with, I mean, they haven't really started a whole season, but they've gotten enough playing time to where they come in and just have a breakout season. Perfect example is Jeremy Hecklinski. He shared the role. Last year was his first season. He completely balled out. So Griffin Marshall is going to come in next year as Woodward Academy's quarterback. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. He has played a little bit. I think he played a first half in the game against Forest Park, went like 80% passing, had a touchdown. Great numbers. He was the 2022 Georgia vs. Florida Showcase MVP. So he has a really big opportunity for him his senior season. He has been waiting in the wings. He's got a great cast of playmakers around him. Najee went through the list. I didn't even realize how much talent they have on that team. And he was just going over the seniors, and then you look at some of the underclassmen. It really is unbelievable. They only had one in-state loss last year. They struggled running the ball against Hughes, but they passed it well. I think Griffin Marshall, that's going to be a big storyline. What does he do next year as Woodward Academy's quarterback? I'm really excited to see that. And he's got tremendous size as well. So, yeah, and against Forest Park, yeah, I definitely sold it short. He played the first half. He went 12 of 16, 279 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And listen, you don't need to run the ball as much as you think. It's like, yeah, it's a necessary component, but look at Prince Avenue Christian. You got enough talent around you to air it out. You're going to have a dangerous offense. and you can add the run game in after that. So I just think with all their playmakers and speed, they've got a really exciting season. So once again, that was yesterday on Najee's show, Keeping It Real with Najee Wilkins. I thought he had a great point with highlighting Woodward Academy. But with that being said, we are going to go ahead and wrap up the show because we got a busy night. We're going to have all the wrestling results posted at scoreatl.com and the AJC. You'll be able to see the top, I believe it's top 4 finishers in every single weight class for that was Class A, 4A, 5A, and 6A tonight, and then 2, 3, 7, and the girls tomorrow night. We'll have all that up. We released our Week 1 rankings for soccer, lacrosse, and baseball the past 2 days. Those are up at scoreatl.com. You can check them out. I'm sure they will change a lot in these next couple of weeks. I know the baseball ones will too. It's just tough. Like, what are you going to do when you have, okay, so last year in Class A private, Mount Perrin dominated. In Class A public, Metter dominated. Now there's the Class A Division I, Class A Division II. They were so dominant. Now they're still in the separate classes. I mean, you just got to put them number 1. No one else beat them. But if things change in these first couple of weeks, we'll look into it. We'll adjust accordingly. But definitely, with the success these teams had last season, you can't really try to have some hot take where you think that they aren't going to be just as good. So we have all those rankings up. You can get caught up on the season ahead at scoreatl.com. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you, Jordan, for coming on. Thank you, Coach Godfree, as well. That was exciting. I know he's been really busy, so that was awesome. But everyone have a good weekend.